there is so little conversation around kind of survivors of sexual violence. There's no space to have these conversations. There's such shame around it. Like, I told someone about it recently and he was like, well, statistically and psychologically speaking, you should be over it by now. And I was just like... And
I've been told, just get on with your life kind of thing. That was then, this is now. No, it just doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
No. We started to have more of a voice, which we do have more of a voice now. There are more and more women speaking up and speaking out. But at the same time, there's so many of us who are not.
I think it's 15% of people report it, but less than 6% of those reports end in convictions.
Wow.
Quite often they're portrayed as exaggerating or lying or attention seeking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or like angry feminist. I don't know. It's
something
just not
that points the finger at the one who's suffered it.
Yeah, I think it's the patriarchal system which is so deeply embedded that it convinces people of all genders to believe
that the woman's at fault. I agree with you. I tried to talk about it because I knew that something was wrong. You know, it's like it was crazy for me. I was 14. I was raped, and I don't know if I feel ashamed to say this, but this was the reality. I didn't even know that I was. I didn't know that I had been. I remember, being around my schoolmates, and they were all having sexual, interactions with boys and whatever, and I hadn't. But I was being abused by my stepfather at home. Remember I told you earlier that I went to Jamaica when I was 14. So get there now, and this is my new home, and started getting sick in the mornings, and yeah, I was pregnant. But there was no support. I was sent off to Backstreet in the night. Nobody asked me, like, what happened? How did it happen? How did I get pregnant? Nobody asked me. Everybody just made me feel like I had done something wrong. When I came back from Jamaica and had to go back into that house where he lived, and he tried it again, and I was like, no, 16 plus, and I'm like, no, this ain't happening. Pushed him off and went to work, came back home and was kicked out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I had to tell my mum why I was kicked out. My mum hasn't been in my life really ever since.
What is this?
She didn't want to face it, she didn't want to look at it. And I come from a family of women, sisters, lots of aunties, and none of them wanted to address it. Because it all got out in conversation as the years went on, and they got to know what had happened, and nobody, not one of them.
It's so unbelievable, but what is it what did that confront in them? And in everybody, why is it that we
don't address it? We sweep it under the carpet and hope it will go away.
And there's so much shame around it.
Tried to take my life because I didn't know what to do with it. Just ended up getting my stomach pumped out, being at the hospital, right? So, taking an overdose. Why nobody didn't ask me why I took that overdose? Nobody.
That's really hard.
It has been. I've just been carrying around this weight and this burden for so long, but not knowing how to let it go. I've walked with it for so long.
When it happened to me, I was abroad too, and I was early 20s, 21, 22, and equally I just I knew it was wrong, and I pushed it out of my head. for me, like, it only really came real when I didn't get my period, and I was also pregnant and was abroad still. And so I kind of, like, for practical reasons, told my family, my close family. I just remember being at the hospital and also, like, finding out that it wasn't legal there my family have been incredibly supportive, but I do think there was a moment with some of them where it was like, are you like, family and friends,
Disbelief.
like, are you sure?
Questioning you.
Yeah, and realised that because it is so hard to talk about it, and I am able to talk about it, that it's important to talk about it, you know, for those people that can't. My dream is that we can get to a place where we can have this conversation with men, and then be able to hear it, and also, like, to not feel like I'm telling you this because I'm hurting. And I know that this is a system that's also hurting you, and can we find a way, like, how can I talk to you about this without you feeling like I'm shouting at you? Like, and how can I talk to you about this in a way that inspires you to talk to other men about it, you know? Like, how can we work together to change this, rather than it just being me sounding like I'm a victim or, you know, an angry feminist or anything? Like, how do we get beyond that?
How do we get there?
That is my biggest dream.
Just being able to have the conversation.